Hey, Dad, is that the new pussy hoodie that all the women want? No, son, that's what happens when three feminists get urinary tract infections at the same time. Yep. Great Moments in Libtard History is a Facebook page that if you don't know about it, you might want to go look at it, go see it. Yeah, it's great. Okay. So yesterday, the Women's March on Washington to protest Trump's presidency. Ladies, get used to it. I'm sorry that your candidate didn't win. But hey, that's the way elections work. That's the way the Electoral College works. Sorry. Now, you had Ashley Judd, America Fiera, and Madonna, all three at the protest. I don't know who all showed up or whatever. I don't really care. What I caught was Ashley Judd ranting about her menstrual cycle, and Madonna said she had thought about blowing up the White House. Okay, I'm a guy. I don't know a whole lot about periods. I don't know a whole lot about menstrual cycle. But my wife has had 2 children. 3 if you want to count the miscarriage, because she lost that one at 4 months gestation. And that was a fully formed human being. Now, I've got 2 boys with my wife. Love them to death. Think they're great. But after Madonna's foul-mouthed rant yesterday, whoa, yikes. You know, folks, this shows you I don't want any performer, actor, singer, musician take a political stance on nothing. I want them to entertain me, not politicize me. Ashley Judd, if you want to complain about taxes on tampons and pads, take it up with your state legislature. It's not a federal tax. Hate to tell you. Madonna, you're in the top 5 to 10% of wage earners in the nation. Your record sales alone currently outproduce my income dramatically. It's really scary. But when you say things like you've thought about blowing up the White House, it makes me no longer respect you. You're no longer talking about the individual president. You're talking about this nation's house. This nation's symbol and seat of power. Regardless of whether or not you feel it's being used for good or bad, it is still this nation's absolute one recognizable symbol. Everybody in the world knows the White House. You know, if you're upset that Donald Trump won and Hillary Clinton lost due to the Electoral College, well, that was Hillary's fault. I mean, I can show you where it was Hillary's fault. Hillary ignored the Midwest states. What is typically a Democrat voter bloc, or had been up until the late 80s and early 90s. And even then, her husband still won the Midwest states except for Texas. She could have had those states had she not ignored them. She could have had West Virginia if she would have come out and said, we're going to protect coal industry, but we're going to regulate the burning of coal. Okay? Turn it on the electrical industry to the plants that require coal fire boxes. She didn't want to do that. She wants to hammer the coal production to force the electrical industry to change. Now, you can't take out one without taking out the other, unfortunately. So she's going to lose the coal production states. She lost the union vote. You know, and I hear about all these women who say, you know, such as Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks. She called every woman that voted for Trump dumb. Well, Anna, get out of your bubble. Go into these homes where these kids don't have enough to eat. Where these women have to look at their fridges and think about, how am I going to feed my kids tomorrow? These women are proud, they're strong. They come from all walks of life. They come from all religions. They come from all colors. They come from all around the world. They immigrated here legally. They don't have enough to feed their kids, and they can't qualify for state aid, because the illegal immigrants are taking it all up. To the LGBTQ community, Donald Trump is not going to take away your rights to marriage. To the atheist out there, he's not going to suddenly invoke a one-country religion. He's not suddenly going to make everybody in the United States go to a Presbyterian church every Sunday. Don't think you got to much worry about that. Okay? To those of you saying that he's bigoted, I'd love to see you state something. Okay? But you can't. When I ask for citations, y'all suddenly shut up and get shut down. I was in a Facebook debate tonight, this morning, with an individual who is not a friend of mine, who's a common friend with another one of my friends, and they both happen to be gay men. And he sat there and put down rural women. Idiot or ignorant rural women who voted for Donald Trump. Well, when these rural women are living on farms, working on farms, have to work a job in town, maybe two, they have to work the equivalent of 3 jobs a day. these families, these farming families, have to work the equivalent of 3 jobs a day. Why? Because the EPA has come in and stepped on farming so badly, it's not even funny. In 5 years' time, going down the current road with the EPA regulations, we're not going to be able to export any food. In fact, we're going to be importing the majority of our food. Nobody wants to think about that. Well, think about this. When Rome no longer produced its own food, it imported from outside of Italy, from the Roman Empire. Well, guess what? When they couldn't feed themselves, guess what happened? Rome starved. When Rome starved, it got wiped out. That's historical fact. Because when families can't feed themselves, they can't work. You want a more current show of that? Take a look at China in the 1950s. Massive famine. Massive famine. And Mao Zedong, a communist, tried to hide it. For what? So he could have nuclear weapons. Sad. And all y'all thinking that communism's the great answer, well, take a look at it. China's had to go more to a free market enterprise than it is a communism. The state still owns everything, but they allow the people to earn money based off of state property. Okay, you try to propose that here. I'm sorry, I got property here I don't want to lose. I'm not going to lose. You can take it from me when I'm dead. I'll fight for it. I'll fight the country on it. No. Do we need more pipelines? Yes. Do we need improvements to pipeline technology before we put them in? Yes. Do we do enough to maintain the pipelines that are here? No. But we're not training people to go inspect and repair pipelines, are we? You want to complain about drilling? Well, you know, there's been massive improvements to drilling in the last 50 years. It's not like Spindletop in Texas where they were shooting gushers off every day just to see who could get the highest gusher. That happened, what, 1909, I think it was? We ain't doing that anymore. We're taking steps to improve the environment. The Republicans are doing it slower than the Democrats want to do it. But until there's an alternative energy source that's equal to, you know, what we use currently, it's going to be a while. I'd like to see it go to an all-electrical setup, but unfortunately you can't even do that. Because it all requires maintenance, and that's something you guys don't see. Okay. So, yeah, y'all keep marching. Okay? I'll keep sitting back watching Trump succeed. Okay? And we'll find out what happens from here. To those of you who don't want to give Donald Trump a chance, well, sorry, he's going to get his chance. Okay? Unless y'all suddenly go pro-gun and assassinate him. Which, then we'll see the liberal hypocrisy in true action form. And I'll get on Twitter later, maybe. But anyway, I am the Repentant Conservative. Appreciate you watching. Y'all have a blessed day. Be safe. Be good to each other, please. We only get one shot in life. Let's make it the best we can.